Distance Nerding.
Hey! Woo! I gotta move over. Hey, what's up, everybody? Woo! There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is a late day. It's my bad. I'm sorry, but yes, we are here. We are ready. It is another episode of Distance Nerding, live on multiple platforms.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. I am your boy, Young Phil. He is the SHDU, and that is the Jahmez 5000, and we're here.
And we're here to nerd together.
Nerd together.
Right. We're talking. Oh, sorry,
Nailed it for the 289th time. Talking anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that, all the different places. It really does help us out. If you're listening on the podcast right now, just make sure that you rate and review. Let us know that you are enjoying everything that we're doing here, because we really do need it. We need the help everywhere at Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, we got merch. So can you. Head over to Distance Nerding, streamlabs.com/Distance Nerding, merch, all that kind of stuff. Fun. Let's jump right into this. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now tuned into the worst kept secret on all of the internet. It's time for Distance Nerding. Let's do this. All right. Well, here we go.
Woo. Let's do it.
Let's get into this. Jahmez, let everybody know what's on deck this week. Let's pop in here.
Crisis at DC Studios. Wild Marvel rumors are exploding. Coyotes, race cars, murder bots, RoboCops, and so much more.
That's right. All the fun stuff. I didn't realize how slow I made that. All right. Well, let's...
Cool transitions, but yeah.
I know, right? This is what happens when you try to make things like really fast.
Speaking of really fast.
Exactly.
Speaking really fast.
So let's jump into this. Jahmez, let's talk about our first sponsor here.
Check out Colossus Girl Entertainment fan-focused Comic-Cons across the West Coast. Next up, Anna Medford this month in Medford, Oregon. Comics, cosplay vendors, artists, celebrity guests, and so much more. Visit ColossusGirlENT.com. Plan your next Comic-Con.
Yes.
That's right.
All right.
Okay, well let's jump into this. We're gonna jump into the first round of segments here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the news in the Marvel world. It's time for some straight from J. Jonah.
Woo. All right, and that's my segment.
Yes, sir.
So
let's go into it.
Hawkeye isn't about to take his final bow. Yeah, get it? Okay. It's been 5 years since Clint Barton last picked up the bow in the MCU, but Jeremy Renner may be getting ready to put the Hawkeye suit back on. Renner recently posted a close-up photo of his Hawkeye costume to his Instagram story with no explanation attached. No caption, just the suit. So, yeah. So, what are we thinking here?
I just think it's odd now that we are ramping up towards Doomsday. All of a sudden, he's posting Instagram photos of his Hawkeye suit. What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't in the cast list.
Not on the cast list. Has not been announced. Was not at D23 or at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. Now, of course, this could be Secret Wars. They haven't revealed who's going to be there, probably because of these spoilers for Doomsday.
Right.
So,
right.
We don't really know what's going on here.
The only other thing I can think of is that this month, Endgame Encore is getting released or re-released, I guess. And, of course, he has a big role in that. We haven't got an announcement for him in Doomsday, so maybe he's just like, hey, look at me. I'm going to be in Endgame Encore. I don't know.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's almost like Jeremy Renner is going to be in these. I mean, he's such an integral character. He's like kind of like he really is the heart of the team when it comes to the Avengers. And to have him not in this film, even if it's for something like quick, I mean, the last time we saw him was on the Hawkeye show it doesn't make sense for him not to be in it, but it may just be that he's not playing a major role within the film itself.
Yeah. No, that's So we don't really know if he's teaming a Doomsday or he's teasing a Doomsday appearance, or it's just hype for Endgame. We really don't know. But Avengers Endgame Encore is coming to theaters on September 25th, and of course, Avengers Doomsday on December 18th. So yeah, there we go. On to our next story here. We need more chairs. Speaking of Doomsday, it's currently undergoing reshoots. An insider, Daniel Wickman, reports that Joe Russo and Anthony Russo are adding, quote, a lot of cameos to the movie. We don't know exactly who these cameos are going to be, but there are some interesting clues floating around. So, what do we got here? James?
I see. We were coming off Brand New Day. And have you guys seen Brand New Day? I know, Felipe, I know you saw Brand New Day.
Yeah.
I have not, but I kind of know the
gist of it. Well, I don't know what they're going to do with the Hulk, but I could see them finding a way to bring the Hulk, because it seems like he got taken away or something, got kind of tucked away in Brand New Day. But I feel like they're going to bring him out some way. Like there's going to be like all hands on deck type thing. Call the Hulk.
Yeah.
And I think that's when we get the Hulk.
We need a Hulk.
We need a Hulk.
Well, okay, so with the Hulk, the last thing we saw with the Hulk specifically is one, again, this is spoilers, but we saw the best version of the Hulk that we've seen in a while. Like, we have not seen the Hulk in this kind of like angry, savage way that we've seen, like we haven't seen it in a while. But the last we saw of him was him going to essentially a mental institution, that he's going to an institution. So I don't know if we're gonna get any of him in the movie. I think more than anything, we may be getting more looks into characters in the future, or maybe a final battle scene where we see some characters. By the way, there is a lot of gift giving going on in our chat right now, and it is
I can tell, man. It's incessant. So there has actually been talk that Mark Ruffalo had stepped away from filming season 2 of Task to shoot scenes for Doomsday. So could be some Hulk stuff. We didn't mention it, but yeah, Elizabeth Olsen could also be returning. Her stunt double was reportedly involved with filming, and obviously Jeremy Renner thing. So
right, and I mean, supposedly what's going on with her in the whole thing is she, like, a lot of people are saying that she's going to be one of the witches. And I mean, it makes sense given what her role is in the comic with the story arc that we're assuming that this is. So I mean, like, it could be a lot of things. I would love to see her back in this because we need some of this. But who else it could also be, though? Now that I'm thinking about it, they said we're getting Ghost Rider sooner than we thought.
Ooh.
So what if it's Ghost Rider that we're getting in this?
I have heard rumors about that. I've heard rumors of that, and like the X-Men.
Yeah,
right.
They have the whole, their role is, apparently much bigger than we thought in Secret Wars. We might be getting multiple Ghost Riders too. That was a rumor.
Right. Chat, you guys are killing me. I love it right now.
Hey, real quick, since we have Sack Deadpool in the chat, let's ask that question. Did we get confirmation that Deadpool is in this or not in this?
I think we basically did. I think the whole thing was 23. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. We kind of got confirmation that he's going to be in it because it was more he was saying that he wasn't in it. I'm not going to say what I know, but I mean, like, it would be nice for him to be in it, considering that he has the biggest franchise, or at this point, the second biggest franchise within Marvel, because now the first it's Spider-Man's easily back on top again. Deadpool jokes aside.
Yes. Honestly, at this point, I think they're gonna. Anything is a possibility, even especially the way they pulled off Brand New Day, and they were able to incorporate all those villains, all those rogues gallery, plus Punisher, plus Sadie Sink. I can say who she is, right?
Yeah.
Plus,
It's
Jean Grey. Plus the whole-
it's been
they
almost
can
a
do anything
month.
they want.
We can say it
It's
now.
spoiled, yeah. I know. And I would like to say, just on that, I think I'm cursed to have crushes on all of the Jean Greys. I'm just gonna put that out there.
You're a
It's a-
Famke.
it's a
You're a Famke fan.
burden I
Hey, I had a
Good
crush
night.
on Famke, but I mean that was also kind of that was our heyday.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, so actually speaking of things Phil knows, the plot apparently may have leaked online. That's a rumor. There's a detailed plot summary floating around. So
I did.
yeah, I have not personally looked
So
at that.
I didn't want to cover it because I didn't want to spoil the actual movie for people, but
Mhm.
I did read it. So if you
Yeah.
want the link, we can send it to you. But I don't want to like blast it out there. But we have it.
Let us
I
know.
haven't read it, but I'm sure it's just going to confirm all the things I already know.
I'm sure. So speaking, so Doomsday, December 18th, we will find out if any of this is true, if any of these rumors are true, and who exactly is going to appear.
Yeah, I'm juiced about it. I don't know about you guys,
Mhm.
but I'm
Me
pretty
too.
juiced.
I'm very excited. I think it'll be good.
There's a lot of juice in Shadu.
Yeah,
Right? And that was Jay Jonah.
he would like
So,
to. He
Bill
would,
takes one.
ladies and gentlemen, right here, ticket. He would like to juice Sadie Sink.
Well,
Okay, DC. Let's move to DC.
I've been back for 5 minutes.
That's what you get. All right, let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. It is now time to move on to the world of DC. That's right. We're watching the Watchtower, so let's jump into this. Easy money. I'll wait for Indy Navarrete as Rogue.
Fair enough.
Solid.
I'm kind of with him on that. That is pretty solid. She's
Also,
Whew.
Zach Deadpool, you're just now realizing this? Really? I'm Irish. It's in my blood.
It's a crisis in Infinite Studios. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's recap. Gunn and Safran started strong with Peacemaker and Superman, but then Supergirl failed at the box office. I mean, yeah, to an extent, but Gunn and Safran's contracts have reportedly been approaching their expiration dates either this year or next. Plus, announced projects started stalling. So, I mean, what would the new bosses at Paramount do? According to a new report, Paramount's currently has no intention of changing how DC Studio operates. Actually, the last thing I heard was they actually did extend James Gunn's contract out for 2 years, but I gotta confirm that. The Wrap reports that that if the Paramount and Warner Brothers merger receives final approval, Paramount plans on keeping Gunn and Safran running for DC Studios. Gunn and Safran already have several successes at this point toward Creature Commandos, all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's so much that they've done that is right. Lanterns is a freaking hit right now. Creature Commandos, nobody has anything bad to say about Creature Commandos. Hit or miss with Peacemaker with most people. And Superman, again, you have a lot of people who say negative things about Superman, but there's a lot more positive to say about Superman than there is negative in all reality. So what I need now is your guys' thoughts on all this.
So for me, the only two things I see that are the issues with DC and the James Gunn, Peter Safran version of the DCU is that, yes, Supergirl did have some box office blunders with, the amount of money it made. I get it. It's a loss. So that sucks, but it was still a pretty enjoyable movie, but I wish it was more in depth for what the story was. It was very much a Cliff Note version of the story.
Yeah.
So I think they missed the mark on that, even though I did enjoy the film. The other thing is, and kind of like a Star Wars thing, where they started announcing projects and then pulling them back,
Right.
and then okay, here's another one. Oh wait, that one's on hold. Okay, and then here's this big tent pole, like Batman: Brave and the Bold, but we're not pushing it as much as we should. Like, I don't even want to know that until we're ready. So it's almost like they did the blunder by announcing those projects that they weren't ready to be announced.
Right. I think he had like a roadmap of what he wanted, and it kind of changed once films started coming out. And it was like, oh, Supergirl. And then, he started writing Man of Tomorrow, and I think that changed a lot of where he wanted the story to go. Thing is that he's already planted seeds for other storylines, so it's kind of like, where do we go from here? I 100% believe that Warner Brothers is behind the vision, because if they wanted him out, they would have canceled all his projects and they would have stopped it a long time ago. I mean, considering that they keep greenlighting projects that he continues to put out there, I don't think they're planning on getting rid of him. It doesn't seem like Paramount wants to get rid of him either, because they seem to have a lot of good to say about him, as much as all the fanboys are like, they're going to fire him and they're going to bring back Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder has already said he's not coming back. So, I mean, stop.
Yeah.
Stop with all the rhetoric. Stop with all the complaints. Stop with all of the what you think is going to happen, because what you think is going to happen is not happening, guys. I'm sorry. As much as I did not dislike his world, it was a fine take, but it's not happening. So, get on board, guys. What up, Tech Guy Eric?
Yep. I mean, basically what you guys have said. There's not much more. I don't really want to compare it to Marvel too much, because that feels,
you can't. They're different universes, so you can't really compare them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying the structure,
right,
or anything else. Yeah, you would think, let's do a Superman movie, let's do a Batman movie, let's do a Wonder Woman movie, let's do a Justice League. But like, I appreciate they're trying different things and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that Warner Brothers seems to still be behind this, even if a movie has failed, because I think that's really what you need to take away from it. Is you got to stick behind it. You got to be like, all right, let's see how this goes. Let's see what the payoff's going to be. So, yeah, it seems like you're doing that. But I also, I always worry about these big corporations being like, we didn't make enough money here. Cancel it all. So
yeah. And I mean, that's the problematic part of all of this, is that they're looking at dollar signs. They're not looking at creativity. They're not looking at what is creatively the best way to do things. Also, I'm sure they're all freaking out after Spider-Man, because they're like, okay, the theory that people aren't going to the movies anymore because they're waiting on it to come to streaming, Spider-Man disproved all of that. But at the same time, I think it's more now, is it enticing enough for me to go see in theaters, or am I willing to wait for it to come out on streaming?
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Agreed.
Yep.
And with the next few projects they have coming up, they're kind of set up for success. Man of Tomorrow, it'll do well. It'll be a blockbuster summer movie. That's fine. People will come out for it. That won't be a problem. Clayface is coming out in like a month.
I can't wait to see that. It looks so good. It has like a body horror film,
and it only costs $40 million to make. That is so low, even for like an indie movie. That's low, so it's gonna make the money back. So I think they're okay. They're like, let's see what happens here. And then again, like we talked about, Lanterns it's getting a lot of good reviews.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of it's also they're starting to trust Gunn with doing what Marvel did at first, because Marvel movies became their own formula and they became Marvel movies and everything became a Marvel movie. But when they first started putting Marvel movies out, they were different genre films. They were genre films that were within the universe. I think that's what Gunn is starting to do with DC. Is we're gonna make a film that is within a separate genre that just lives within DC. I love that idea with them. I love that you have this fun adventure movie with Supergirl, but then you're getting into more of a comic book movie with Superman. But then you can go and do other properties and make it like a comedy, or you can make it something that is you can make a western out of something, like things like that.
Or like a kind of detective show with lanterns. Yeah. All right. Great.
All right. So that is it for our side on DC. So let's talk about our next sponsor here, ladies and gentlemen. This show is brought to you by the good folks over at that was loud. Over at W is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about W at www.w.gg. Use the code nerding10 and get 10% off your order. All right, let's jump into the next segment here. We've got some one shots. We've got the quickest news in the galaxy. Jahmez, let's jump on these stories here.
The Roadrunner still has some pep in his step. Coyote versus Acme, the long-delayed Looney Tunes movie, opened to $15.4 million at the domestic box office, giving distributor Ketchup Distributing, its biggest debut to date. That also is incredibly close to the 15.5 million opening for the Day of the Earth Blew Up, the other Looney Tunes Acme movie that came out a couple years ago.
Mhm.
The positive response from critics and moviegoers certainly helps. So good for Ketchup. Thank you for bringing this Looney Tunes movie out. And for now, abdi, that's all, folks. Get it?
I do. So happy that this movie is making money. I've seen complaints where people saying it's not making as much money, but I don't care. I haven't seen it yet, but I need to go see this. It's one of the movies on my list to go watch, and I want to see it in theaters.
Yeah.
I've heard so many good things about it, and John Cena's performance seems to be like very breakout in it. So
John Cena's in it. I didn't even know
he plays the villain. Yeah, he plays the bad guy.
I know. I didn't see him anywhere.
Oh yeah, no. Apparently, Joe Deckelmeyer was on stage by himself in Canada this weekend.
Abdi, that's all, folks.
All right.
Was it funny at the second time? No.
Oh, it kind of was. Hold on, James. I got you.
Thanks, everybody. Looks like it's time to hit the pace car again. Tom Cruise is getting back behind the wheel as Cole Trickle and Anne Hathaway is joining him for the ride. Hathaway will star opposite Tom Cruise in Paramount's Pictures' upcoming follow-up to Days of Thunder. I think they're going to call it Days of Thunder 2. I hope so. So they're going to bring some serious star power. Cruise's return to the NASCAR world. The new film arrives nearly 40 years after director Tony Scott unleashed the first Days of Thunder in 1990. 40 years.
Wow.
So long. Do you guys see this announcement?
I didn't. I'm not against it. I love what Eric D is saying in the chat, though. He said NASCAR has a senior circuit.
like the PGA. Oh, that's good.
That is really good, man. I'm not against it. I think we were talking off mic earlier, but like if this ends up being like Top Gun and you have like the kind of like this a reason for the story to continue on and they do it well, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, Days of Thunder, the whole story is like an experienced NASCAR driver kind of handing it off to the next generation. It's probably going to be something similar to this instead of, Robert Duvall and, mentoring Tom Cruise. It's going to be Tom Cruise mentoring somebody else. Like Miles Teller or something.
Robert.
Yeah. But I will say this. Seeing Anne Hathaway jump into this, I'm like, good pull. She is nothing but money these days, right? Like, I like her as an actress, but check this out. I was looking this up. In 2026, she's put out Mother Mary. I think that was a horror movie. Devil Wears Prada 2, The Odyssey, The End of Oak Street, and she has an upcoming movie called Verity coming like in December. She is box office galore this year. So, all right. Good for Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder 2 will race into theaters on June 2nd, 2028.
Nice.
Awesome. Again, as long as it makes sense, I'm for it.
Yeah.
All right. Actors are killing to get into this series. Apple TV Plus Murderbot is loading up on some serious talent for season 2 with Steve Buscemi, Wanda Sykes, Patton Oswalt, Tramell Tillman, Blair Underwood, and Brendan Hunt among the new additions joining the Emmy-nominated sci-fi comedy. That's huge.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And by the way, Dave the Smolchin is coming back for season 2 as well.
Right.
So,
right.
Have you guys watched the show? I love this show.
So I have not. I know Jen is a massive, massive fan of this show.
Mhm.
I know it's on my list of things to watch, but because it's sci-fi, I have to watch it without Jackie. She's not into sci-fi. But now that I know a director of the show, aka Matt Hodson, it's even more reason for me to watch it, which he may or may not have given us a spoiler when he was on the show 2 weeks ago.
There you go. It's worth a watch. It's only like half-hour episodes, so it's totally bingeable. Totally worth it too.
Yeah.
All right. So there's no currently no date announced for Murderbot season 2, but the expanding cast gives fans another good reason to keep an eye on it. I'm so interested in this one.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Murderbots, Dead or Alive, Dan Stevens is coming with me. Dan Stevens has landed the title role for Amazon Prime Video's upcoming RoboCop TV series. Dan Stevens, right? You guys remember who Dan Stevens?
I recognize the name.
Okay. So let's see. RoboCop is going to be 8 episode series, officially announced in July. But if you don't know Dan Stevens, he's, for me, the biggest thing that gets me, like he was in Downton Abbey and stuff like that. But the biggest thing, he was in Legion, that FX show.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah,
that's why I know
yeah.
Dan Stevens. Yes. Okay.
Yep.
He's the main guy in Legion. He was in, I mentioned Downton Abbey, Dexter, Resurrection, Godzilla, Kong, The New Empire. He was in that as well. But so you know him. Like once you see his face, you're like, oh, Dan Stevens. Got it.
Yeah. Now 100% I know who he is, and I know. Okay, so if he's playing Murphy, I'm all for it, dude.
Speaking of, I do have my friends call me Murphy. You call me RoboCop Opsis. Excuse me, I have to go somewhere. There's crime happening. Synopsis.
Oh God, give me a second. Oh, I gotta deliver it. My friends call me Murphy. You call me RoboCop. Opsis. Excuse me, I have to go somewhere. There is a crime happening. Synopsis.
Synopsis. The official logline reads, a giant tech conglomerate convinces the city to place a powerful robot on its police force, a robot implanted with a consciousness of a beloved fallen officer. Yes. Prime Video has announced an official date for RoboCop. Not yet until it goes on patrol.
I'm for this. Dan Stevens killed it as Legion, so I'm all for it.
I'm into this. You know what's funny? We talked about this before. RoboCop getting rebooted a few different times, and it hasn't quite landed. I think this could land with Dan Stevens. I do like this.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with it. I have no objections to Dan Stevens as Officer Murphy.
Yeah.
I think that was my last headline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shadu, I gotta ask.
Right.
Because there's so much that you've never seen. You've never seen RoboCop? I'm assuming.
Nope.
It's almost like a cult. It's a cult classic now. I think instead of being like, "Oh my god, you haven't seen that movie," we should just like feed you the cult classic movies that you should go out and watch.
We should just have movie nights. I think that's what we should do. We should just have movie nights here or on our Patreon or something.
We
have
used
movie nights.
to, yeah. I mean, we used to. We tried doing it for a while, but we just didn't have a lot of people who were joining. Maybe now that we might be able to do it like a little bit more now.
Yeah, that's something. And we'll just like go through movies I haven't seen that you guys think I should see.
Yeah, RoboCop for sure is a movie. Write that down. That is a movie you need to see. Ultra violent, but it is very good. It's the same. It's the same.
Movie night document.
Have you seen Starship Troopers?
Oh yeah,
same guy who made Starship Troopers.
Oh yeah. I was where it was, but I haven't seen. Yeah, it's in RoboCop.
Prime Directive. All right. Well, that is it for James's last story. So let's jump into our last sponsor before we jump into
Discerning is part of the Geek Freaks Network. Are you discovering your latest binge, debating casting choices, or still not over that plot twist? Well, the Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. geek out your way, check out the Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com. Once again, that is gfpods.com.
That's right. Geek Freaks, baby.
Woo!
Listen to Geek Freaks. I do, and so should you.
Yes.
I'm sorry. All right, we're gonna jump into the next segment right here, ladies and gentlemen. We're jumping into our headlines. It's gonna get really sad for a minute here. Last week we talked about Dolly Parton. It was very sad, but we had even more sad, just heart destroying things happen over the course of this week. Ladies and gentlemen, Autobots, roll out one last time. Oh, this makes me so sad. All right. Peter Cullen, the legendary voice actor best known as Optimus Prime in Transformers, has died at the age of 85. His family confirmed his passing. A cause of death hasn't been revealed. For generations, of Transformers fans, Cullen wasn't simply an actor playing Optimus Prime. He was Optimus Prime. Every definitive version of Optimus Prime was played by Peter Cullen, which is absolutely amazing. Cullen first voiced Optimus Prime when the original Transformers animated series debuted in 1984. Michael Bay brought the Autobots and Decepticons to the big screen with Transformers in 2007. Bringing Cullen back to voice Optimus was absolutely the right call. He continued voicing Prime throughout the live-action movie franchises, with his most recent performance coming in Paramount's Transformers Rise of the Beasts in 2023. Most recently, Cullen joined Invincible. Then there's Eeyore, same actor who gave us the powerful voice of Optimus Prime, could turn around and completely disappear into Eeyore. He served as a narrator for Cartoon Network's Toonami, helping introduce viewers to shows such as Dragon Ball Z. Thank you, Peter. You will absolutely be missed. To all are one. So I need you guys to just kind of thoughts or anything you want to say in regard to the James. I know you should have a lot to say about this because we both grow up in this era.
Tech Guy and I are chatting in the chat there about crying over this loss. I remember going to see Transformers the movie by myself back in like 86. It was like the first movie I ever saw by myself. I was a little kid, and I remember crying when Optimus Prime died. I'm like, what am I watching? Why am I alone here? And like all my favorite Transformers are dying. Like Ironhide just got shot and he's laying there, and now Optimus Prime is, dead and gray. So sad. I felt the same way when I heard this story. It's like Peter Cullen, he like what you said, he was Optimus Prime.
Right.
So this one hurts a lot. And you know what's funny is like a lot of my cousins, like we reached out to each other like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. It's like one of those things that like bonded us was Transformers. So this hit a bunch of us.
Yeah. Now we need to protect Frank Welker and Rob Paulson with every fucking fiber of our bodies.
Yes.
Like, man, it is absolutely like it hurts because of so much of what the work that he did was such a part of us. And dude, him coming in to Invincible was like the minute I heard his voice, I fucking fangirled so hard. I think I remember when I told you when we were talking on this show, dude, have you seen Invincible, this season of Invincible yet? Fucking Optimus Prime, man. And I was so excited that Peter Cullen was playing a character in Invincible. And God, man, it's so painful, man. And like one of the things that I think about now is when we get Optimus Prime, are we going to be getting completely new takes? Kind of how Thor, Chris Hemsworth had a very different take on Optimus Prime, right? But like, if people go and do the mainstream cartoon, are we going to get people who are voice matching Peter Cullen? Specifically, there's a TikToker who does like comedy skits as Optimus Prime, and he sounds just like Peter Cullen. The thing is that if you watch his other videos, he just sounds like that. Like he already sounds like Optimus Prime.
Well, then he may have a job.
Right? It's the dude that does the I came to roll out. I came to roll out. So get out your seat and jump around. That guy, like he sounds like Peter Cullen. Like that, just not Peter Cullen. He's like, if you watch his other videos, he's just like, well, I was walking around the room the other day, and I'm like, holy crap, he sounds like Optimus Prime regularly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. I'm sorry. I had to just look in there right now. So tech guy Eric just said Hasbro already said they have AI already for Transformers. That I hope, if anything, I hope he signed off to that, but at the same time, I don't like that. All right, let's continue on.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. We're staying within the realm of sadness because I'm sorry, so much happened this week as far as things that make me sad, because another person from my childhood that had so much to do with my childhood. Guys, we're gonna do the time warp, for the last time. Tim Curry, the legendary actor, singer, stage performer, and voice artist, passed away at the age of 80, leaving behind more than 5 decades of unforgettable characters and one hell of a legacy. A cause of death wasn't immediately available, but he had dealt with several health issues after suffering a severe stroke in 2012. Every role of his was absolutely memorable. Pennywise the Clown in Stephen King's It, Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Curry received a Tony Award nomination for playing Mozart in the 1981 New York production of Amadeus. His turn as the Pirate King in 1982's Drury Lane production of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance. It's Penzance, isn't it?
Penzance.
Penzance.
Okay. Pirates of Penzance earned him a Laurence Olivier Award nomination. Curry played conman Rooster Harrigan in John Huston's Annie in 1982. Then came the massive horns, hooves, and layers of prosthetic makeup required to turn him into darkness for Ridley Scott's 1985 fantasy Legend, which a lot of people rewatched this last week. And remembered how much of a crazy role that was. And then there's Clue, right? I mean, I absolutely love that movie too. Curry's performance as Wadsworth is a masterclass in comic timing, escalating panic, physical comedy, and controlled chaos. Curry also won a Daytime Emmy for voicing Captain Hook in the 1990-91 animated series Peter Pan and the Pirates. During the 1990s, he appeared in The Hunt for Red October, The Three Musketeers, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the I Love You. That scene, so good. Loaded Weapon, Muppet Treasure Island, which again, masterful performance. Addams Family Reunion, Fern Gully, Rugrats, Wild Thornberries, right? Wild Thornberries. He plays the dad. So good. I mean, just so many good roles that he had over the course of everything. The best villain ever in Fern Gully, right? I mean, come on, guys. And I don't think anybody denies how great of a villain he was in Fern Gully. Guys, not guys. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm saying this to you directly. Thanks for the nightmares, the laughs, and the time warps. You will be missed. You will be cherished. Because you absolutely were one of the most iconic just beings to ever grace this earth. And we appreciate everything that you ever did. And we will continue to appreciate everything all the work that you put out there for us to enjoy.
Yeah, it's crazy how he was so big in the 90s. He was like in so many different projects, and his voice stands out so much. So it's nuts how much work he got in the 90s, and yeah, he's an icon.
He was originally the Joker for the Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, I think there's 4 episodes that he did, and then they redubbed them with Mark Hamill. So, I was just thinking about that. Like, it would be nice is if we got a sampling of that, or like, here's an entire episode, or maybe it's all 4 episodes with Tim Curry.
It's out there. It's out there. I'm gonna have to find the video and send it to you. But somebody found the footage of Tim Curry, or somebody released the footage of Tim Curry as the Joker, and it's from the first episode, and it's great because Mark Hamill talks about when he got that role, they had already started recording Tim Curry as the Joker.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like he was auditioning for like henchman number 2, because he was like, I just wanted to do like a cameo where somebody later on would say, yeah, did you know that Mark Hamill voiced a henchman in like the first episode, because he's like that kind of nerd, he wanted that kind of legacy. And they asked him to read for the Joker, and he ended up taking the Joker. But the Joker as a character was based on Dr. Frankenfurter.
Yeah. Such a weird, like, full circle type thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, no love for Congo. No, you're good, man. Congo was also great. So yeah, we'll continue on. But yes, guys, we lost a lot this week. Between Dolly, Peter, and Tim,
and Hayden Panettiere.
That's right, and Hayden Panettiere. That was another one, man. The cheerleader. I had such a crush on her.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. It sucks. All right. Well, let's move on, because I will just spiral if I keep thinking about this. So right. So we're gonna jump into this next story right here. When he left us, he was but the learner. But now Hayden is the leader. We could be seeing a lot more of Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader in the years ahead. According to Star Wars Gaming, Christensen is reportedly in the final stages of signing a multi-picture deal with Disney and Lucasfilm. The report also claims that a standalone Darth Vader movie could be part of the plan, which is actually what he's been asking for years. So I'm going to ask right now, but I'm also going to put it in the chat here in a moment for you guys. I need to know, do you guys want to see a standalone Darth Vader movie? Again, I'm going to put I'm forgetting the word.
Poll.
Right? A poll in the chat here in a moment once I get through this and we start the discussion. None of this has been officially confirmed by Lucasfilm or Disney, so guys, take it with a grain of salt. Take it as a rumor. It's not something that we 100% know is happening right now. A multi-picture deal also opens up more possibilities than just putting Vader back on the big screen. Anakin's Force Ghost could continue to play a role for future stories, especially as Star Wars explores different eras and characters. Madeline Rowe's novel Legacy has even expanded Anakin's presence into the sequel era with an encounter between Anakin and Rey. Will we get more Darth Vader stories? Darth Vader's story to explore? I don't know. You tell us. So, guys, and by guys, I mean you two. What do you guys think of this? Do you think we should be getting more Hayden Christensen?
SHDU, you're wearing a Star Wars shirt, so you answer.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he's willing to do it, let's do it. I don't know if a Darth Vader solo story is necessary, but I'll take it. It'd probably be good. I'm excited. I think he's kind of, in a, not that it was ever his fault, he's kind of in a redemption arc where everybody wants to see him back as Anakin. Everybody wants to, everybody's excited about this, which is good. I think we're in a good place there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'd be great. I'm interested to see what, if of course this is true, which I feel like it probably is. I'm curious to see what they want to do with him and what he wants to do with all of this. So yeah,
I have mixed feelings about this. So seeing Hayden come back, I thoroughly enjoy him coming back, especially in like Ahsoka and the World Between Worlds stuff, and the flashbacks to the Clone Wars. I love it. I love that. Do I want a standalone Vader movie? I don't know. It kind of feels like overkill to me. It's a little too much, like getting bits and pieces of Vader in Ahsoka, in Rogue One. I kind of like that versus like, do we need to know more about his story? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I agree with you on this.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
Go ahead. No, continue.
I was basically going to agree with James. I do like him as this kind of like almost demonic figure where he's kind of in the background all the time, and he just pops up sometimes like, oh, that's not good. You know, I like that. So yeah, Phil, go.
I like that our boy Esteban said, James, that's blasphemy.
Heresy.
But I agree with you, James. I'm agreeing with you on this. I do also believe that I enjoy him more as the looming threat and the overarching villain within all this than giving him a standalone film. As much as I feel like Hayden would kill that, if they do something like that, like I would want to see more like live action Clone Wars stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like adventures with Anakin and Obi-Wan, you know, surviving the Clone Wars kind of thing. I don't feel like we need a full-on like Vader thing. We've already gotten Vader's story and enough of Vader's stuff. Like, you know, I don't feel like I feel like adding more to it would convolute the character.
Mm-hmm. You know, Filoni even said we're supposed to see Vader like this. The way he's portrayed Vader in like Ahsoka and stuff like that is he and it's actually it came out of Shadow Lord, the Maul series, is like Vader does not have a consciousness. He doesn't care. His mission is to kill you, and he's going to do it.
Right.
Like there's nothing else going through his head. He's
He is
just
this like unstoppable force.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the Vader we get in that era, and I kind of like it like that.
Right. You know, it's one of those things where again, the last remnants of any kind of moral authority and consciousness that he had was basically beaten out of him by Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan series. And that's that was the whole point of that was that was that full villain turn. Whatever redeeming qualities he had, he lost in that moment.
Exactly.
You know, and that explains why Obi-Wan stops calling him Anakin. He just calls him Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I like it.
Right. Or he calls him Darth. That's right. As a almost like a level of disrespect to call him just Darth.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where we're going to leave off on this story right here. We've got one more story to get through here, guys. So let's go ahead and move on to our last story of the night. Hopefully we don't linger too much on this one because you guys know me. We call this sugarcoating. Yeah. We call this sugarcoating, kids. David Ellison, CEO of the Paramount Skydance, has promised that the combined studio would release at least 30 movies theatrically every year, and now Paramount is prepared to turn that promise into something much more substantial than a corporate talking point. Do you guys think Paramount can pull off 30 movies a year?
That is what, 2.5 a month?
It's a lot of movies, but I mean, considering it's two different studios, so
yeah. So that's that's one movie a month per studio. That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it does.
They would have to have a lot in production to do all that. Anyways, according to Bloomberg, Ellison is offering 3-year contractually enforceable commitments to AMC Entertainment and Regal Cinemas, the two largest theater chains in the United States. The proposed agreement would guarantee at least 30 theatrical releases annually, exclusive theatrical windows of 45 days, and a minimum 90-day wait before those movies could arrive on streaming services. So essentially, he's going back to the old model where it's you're not getting movies right away, right? No other major studio is currently promising to put 30 movies into theaters every year.
That is interesting, though, that he's promising the theaters we're going to deliver you 30 movies a year. Like, that's good for theaters, right? They're getting content. Like, that's part of the thing. It's like theaters have just been kind of backboning against the bigger tentpole content. Maybe with Paramount and Warner Brothers pushing this, they'll get a little bit more solid content than just like we need to wait for the big tent poles to come up each quarter.
Right. But then that's also, so if you're doing a 45-day theatrical window, so now you have a chance to go see the film, and then 90 days from that before it can be on streaming. That's the old DVD promise that they used to do. And because DVDs aren't a thing anymore, at
Yeah.
least Blu-rays aren't a big thing anymore. It's like, okay, well, we're going to treat streaming as if it were DVDs, which also means streaming services, like actual regular streaming services, may get it even later than that, because I guarantee you that 90-day minimum wait is more for VOD than it is for streaming on like Netflix and stuff.
That's a good point.
Right? Like that 90-day wait for a movie to come out on streaming is probably going to be more when you can buy it on video on demand.
Yeah. I kind of like that. I mean, if anything, it kind of guarantees the theater business that they will have content that Paramount and Warner Brothers are like, hey, we believe in theaters being a thing, and it's not just about streamer stuff. So
right.
If I don't know, the way I look at it is it kind of helps the movie industry. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% against the idea, because I believe that it would usher people back to the theaters instead of people just waiting to see films like they've been doing.
Yeah. Also, this is still terrible for everyone else.
Well, yeah, studio-wise, absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah, this is terrible for everyone else. For actors, for studios,
Yeah. So the contractual offer also serves another purpose for Paramount. The merger is facing an antitrust lawsuit from 12 state attorney generals who argue that combining Paramount and Warner Brothers would give the company too much control over the theatrical movie business, which it would, putting the 30-film commitment and theatrical windows into legal enforceable agreements could help Paramount argue that it isn't planning to swallow Warner Brothers and funnel movies toward Paramount Plus and HBO Max. Instead, the company would be legally committing itself to feeding theaters a steady supply of films. So yes, it's not wrong. The conjecture of that is not wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to the Ellisons, because we all know I don't exactly love those guys, and I don't like their moves and the choices that they've made. But a broken clock is right twice a day, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
With this, they are trying to reinvigorate the film industry and reinvigorate the theater industry. The thing is now you need to two things. Quality control for 30 movies. Quality control needs to be back on the rise. They need to make sure that if they're putting out 30 movies a year, that they're still putting out quality films, or they're upping the quality of their films instead of just trying to push movies out, because that's what's going to get people to actually go to the theaters. Two, finding a way to get theaters not to charge so much for everything, because that's the other part of the equation. Right, because the other piece of the equation is, because theaters are charging so much for concessions and tickets ticket prices are fairly up and everything like that. If you get things down to a reasonable price, I think more people will go to the movies.
Yeah, I don't see theaters lowering their prices though.
Yeah, two things before we close on this. One, it's still a monopoly. Two, I do fear that them trying to push out 30 movies a year, and with how we know the Ellisons are generally, these are going to be like AI movies or something at this point, because they're going to, be like, no, we need to do all this. We need to do it as efficiently as possible.
David Ellison has specifically said that he does want to do some replacements with AI, which again, that's going into another realm of shit that I don't agree with. You know what I mean?
Yep. Which we are not going to get into tonight.
No, that's for another night.
We do not have time.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the last story of the night. Let's jump into our schedule. That's right. Our schedule Tuesdays, distance nerding, typically from 6:30 to 8:30, but I was late. Work happens. We're not too far off. Thursdays, ladies and gentlemen, we have distance nerding interviews. Now, this week's interview, I'm excited for this. If you guys haven't heard this, look into it now. David Hudson, the co-creator of Drunk Shakespeare, who is also the creator of Drunk Dracula. You guys got to check that out. He's going to be on the show this Thursday. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to talk to him about the process, how he came up with this idea, which, I mean, it was probably just a bunch of theater nerds hanging out saying, let's get drunk. I'm going to do Othello. I'm fucking wasted. All right. So yeah, I'm interested in having this conversation on Thursday. That'll be at 6:30. Again, we've changed the times on this. I've got to update the schedule here, but distance learning interviews is now at 6:30 on Thursdays, same time as our regular show on Tuesdays. Fridays, The Buzzer. I don't think I have anything this week, so I think we may actually have game night.
I thought Gravy was going to do Jeff Nerdy.
Oh, then let's do Jep Nerdy. We're playing games this week, guys. That's what we're gonna be doing. We're playing games. Oh, Sack. Okay, yeah, Sack anime is happening this week.
Yep, that too. Go to that.
Yeah. So, with that being said, let us move on here. Of course, before we end everything here, as always, pluggable. SHDU, you're the only one with plugs, so plug your stuff.
I am at SHDU Studios everywhere for my music. It is at SHDU Music. Go check it out.
Sweet. All right, so check all that out, guys. When you get a chance, support your local artist, even though he's only local to Oklahoma and parts of Kansas. All right, let's let's move on here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you can follow us on all the social media places. If you want to join the taco party, head over to distancenerding.com. You can join the taco party. It is a way to support distance nerding. Very soon we'll be getting into Patreon, so if you really want to support distance nerding, get into Patreon. We're gonna be bringing all kinds of exclusive content and fun things, maybe dropping early audio episodes of new content and things coming out, and taking some fan some nerd, I say fan, but taking some nerd suggestions. So if you guys have ideas for things you want to do, then Patreon will be the place to do that. Connect with us on all the places, everywhere at Distance Nerding. If it exists, we will be there at Distance Nerding. Jahmez, would you like to take us out, sir?
All right, Bruce, you better be asleep already. But for everybody else, thanks, and keep nerding together. Deuces.
Later, everybody. Everybody have a good night.
Distance Nerding.